economic activity, business economic activity that will be profitable, services that we can render. So we should also let
I'm
me know about it, okay?
I'm glad you're talking more than ever now because you saw the military coup attempt. Northern Nigeria's House of Land and the Sahel. They've been talking about Nigeria politicians, and they're saying Northern Nigeria should join them. So everybody's looking to break up that contraption. So I think the
Yes, I'm
military
aware of that.
the military said there was a coup. I think they're trying to keep everything together so they can keep the game going and maybe start killing people in the east and the north. Everybody's trying to break up the nonsense and join the Sahel Alliance and Congo and Sudan and deal with all this genocide. But the economic part, it's important. It's important you guys keep talking to us because Igbo land by itself, let alone Biafra's, would be maybe, if you have the Eastern, if it's 70 million people, then that's number six in African population countries. So we have the ability to set up business all across Africa. We are everywhere. So we just got to keep talking. Now, there's the stock market is what we're looking at, where people could go on their phone or computer, and we said it for years, but now we have the platform, we could do it. So the discussion is going to have to be had. We're going to try and have calls with the USA groups. Some say DMV, some say Toronto. We're going to try Detroit and Toronto call, but the stock market is the main thing that we're going to discuss and how to set it up. Register people. The one we're trying to do is you have to pay for it to get the classes, but just to get us on the call and be connected, that's important because Igbo land is 20% of the headquarters. We said we were calling Usoro Mbaise.
Okay.
So two groups of five, and Igbo land has two of the 10. So it's important that we keep communicating.
So,
And your BIM-MASSOB,
yeah,
you have this history of structure and secretaries who could document everything. You have the structure.
everything will have everything.
So
Yeah, we'll have everything.
and then we know we have multiple Biafra groups, so we're trying to get the ones over here that have the contacts to help us get people home and get people traveling and use their resources to help us as well. But
Okay.
there's a lot of the USA invading different Igbo countries and Caribbean and black communities over here. So it's like everything we do, they're trying to stop it. So, but we're at that Rubicon. We're at that Rubicon. So uh, the next calls I'm going to be doing when I get off work is I'm trying to get Detroit. But we have somebody in Benin, Burkina Faso, Niger State, Northwest Nigeria. We have a company there with the kings over there from Burkina Faso, but they're in Niger State, so they're ready to work with us. In fact, they're having a convention in the Muslim part of the country, but they invited us. They wanted 500 for a repeat basketball tournament. I used to send money to spread awareness, but I haven't been had the money for a long time. But they're still there in Burkina Faso and Benin and Niger State trying to work with us, but they still have the company registered to do business, and we could register one in Newi and everywhere. But it takes money, and we have to keep talking so it can get set up. So everybody's not going to come out with money unless they see the return, they hear the structure and how they're going to make the money back. So it's
All right.
important.
All right. If they want to set up a business at Newi through our
No,
company,
we're going.
we
No,
have a
it's my brother. It's going to be set up as something like called OAU, where it's an umbrella. It's going to have a human rights function and a business development function. So if it's a security that we have, it's going to be in the documentation. We're all going to have security. If it's farming and chicken, it's going to have something for that. Even my uncle from Mbaise is talking, but we're going to all have the matching companies. So it's not going to be one thing in Newi, one thing in Mbaise, one thing in Query. Everybody's going to have the same. company. So everybody's ready now. You see what's going on in the news. You saw somebody was in. I don't know if you heard the Prime Minister of Grenada was in Taraba.
Yes, yes.
You heard of that?
Yes, I heard of that, and I was wondering his mission, why he went there.
Because the U.S. government is trying to set up a military base in a country of 100,000 people, but they're Igbo people, so if they went to Igbo land, everybody would be on high alert. So he said, "Let me just go to Kwafa," but still have the spirit drum, and I think it's called Igbo Gwanad. They have Yoruba drum, they have Igbo drum. I think a Khan drum from Ghana, but they have an Igbo drum, so. They registered with Tinubu so they could travel to Igbo land anytime. But everybody knows about Igbo land and Biafra revolution, so they're trying to hide it right now. Or trying to, they're not trying to not hide it, but they're not trying to be too aggressive. But they know where they come from. So, but right now the U.S. government is trying to set up military base so they could kill other black people around the Caribbean and say it's about drugs. But so he was in Nigeria when the Trump administration was visiting. He didn't want to meet them. So he said, "Let me go to
So
Nigeria."
that stock exchange,
Yeah, he
so the
said,
stock market you're talking about, where will be the headquarters of the stock market? Is this something that register with Nigerian Stock
"No, no,
Exchange
no,
or
no.
in
It's
or
US.
the
It's
US?
US. It's going to be a USA team of educators who they have 90% success rate. They're reporting it, so we're going to test it. I think one advertisement I saw was 750 for 3 months just for one person. Then another one was $10 for one day. So we're going to see. Dr. Ngozi from Nugu. She runs fundraisers, so she's maybe the best mobilizer for investment as far as Igbo people. But then we're going to talk to African Americans who say they want their own nation or to have their own department within Africa. They want self determination, and they're looking at us as a place they can register
You see,
there. So it's all good. We just have to. I'm glad you called, but I'm gonna have to
you
make
see,
the calls.
yeah, yeah. You see
But
all these self-determination groups.
hmm
I've told you many, many years ago that
hmm
ours is already a nation, and my leader, who is a political scientist and the Indian trained activist, Ralph Wazwike, he adopted he adopted a system that was established at Montevideo. That is Montevideo Convention of
hmm
1933, where the League of Nations came together and said this is the pathway to self-determination. So my leader, successor to Dimojuku, adopted Montevideo Convention. So Montevideo Convention was what gave us rights to our education. And that was what Nigeria is signatory to. And as of today, we have formed a government within the sovereign country, Nigeria. And Nigeria is very much aware. The UNPO, the CONIFA, the United Nations, the America, they all monitor all our activities.
hmm
So now the reason why all these Simon Epa was arrested and the rest of them, what they were all doing are not in line with Montevideo Convention. Immediately you pick up arms, as long as there is arm, when there's violence and armed struggle in what you're doing, it is already cancelled. Just like FIFA. FIFA has rules and regulation. If you violate their regulation, maybe during the selection period, the tournament period, you will not be recognized. So why am I saying all these things? Our people, some of them decide to go through a long process instead of them to align with BIM-MASSOB that has formed the Biafran Nation internal government. Next month is Ojukwu Memorial. That one you send me your advert 2 years ago,
Uh-huh.
which you paid. Next
hmm
month, 26, is Ojukwu Memorial. We call it greatest annual event east of the Niger. So
hmm
I would like you
Uh-huh.
to talk to our people in diaspora, talk to the people, let them come Bianca will be there, a lot of leaders from former ambassadors, chief of staff and governors, representatives, traditional rulers. I am the official master of ceremony.
Mhm.
I am the official master of ceremony. I think you've seen most of my jobs. So
Yeah,
we meet different kind
brother.
of people.
I want to
Yeah,
interject. I want to interject because you saw what almost happened yesterday with the military, right? They
yeah,
want they
okay.
want they wanted to
Uh,
throw out all the convention, all the thing. This would be military government number 9 for Nigeria. This would be the 9th time. So this is not the first
okay.
time. This is not the first time Nigeria. You know who is in charge of Nigeria? They don't care about no human rights. They're trying to arrest Uwa right now because of what's coming. Northern Nigeria wants to join the Sahel. The Sahel Alliance.
Yes, yes.
The
I
Sahel
made the
Alliance.
publication.
The,
Yes, they
the,
want to arrest him.
yeah, the Sahel Alliance wants to is keep on saying that they have proof Nigeria is funding terrorism in their country, and they said that they're speaking in Hausa. They're talking to their brothers to join them and to fly Russia flag and to come join them for security. So you have other countries trying to split Nigeria now. So now the military is saying it's time to take over Nigeria and take over all the territories and make sure nothing changes. So there, Nigeria has had military government. They don't care about no human rights. So, but if they could arrest Uruziwike with the military government, that's what they were planning to do. So, with us talking to
Anyway,
people, with us bringing people who have security, who have picked up security, it's more about the size of African countries and being administration. We have to talk to everybody because 70 million people. Biafra is top 10, maybe top 5 countries in Africa right now. So it's we have to have if we have to have somebody maybe in the Congo, Uganda area, we have to have someone Sudan, we have to have somebody in Gambia, we have to have someone in Burkina Faso, Mali. So we have to have people
yeah,
in
actually,
strategic places, not only USA where they talk about human rights. We have to have people in conflict areas like Niger, Mali. The Sahel. They said they pulled out the ICC. They're not in. They're trying to pull out the UN and
yeah,
AU. They said everybody's saying that we're going to have our own tradition and military court. So that's why I keep reaching out
yeah,
because you have Enri connections, which is our traditional court. You know what
yes, I have
Sokoto,
a connection.
and
Yeah, yeah.
what Nigerian government did. They said they're tossing out every other traditional courts and only recognizing only Ife and Sokoto as the traditional courts leaders for Nigeria. So that is a violation of human rights
Yes,
right there. Is that a violation of human rights? Where you say you can't, that
is it?
nobody else
Is
can
it?
speak?
Yes, I
Nobody else
saw.
can,
I saw the recognition of the Nigerian government recognizes Oni of Ife,
and
Sultan,
Sokoto,
and the rest of them
a Sokoto
in Sokoto.
who's
So,
a
but
foreign
yeah,
jihadist
but
title, which is not even
yeah,
indigenous,
yeah, yeah,
not even indigenous king. It's a religious title. It's not even tradition.
yes,
So Nigeria
but
violates human rights
it
all the
was,
time. Everything is
yes, it
falling
was
apart.
resisted.
Yeah, because yeah.
It was resisted by some members of the Senate and the
Hmm.
House of Representatives. It was resisted actually.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to let you know is this: Wazirike has called for Nigeria to be split into 6 republics. When during Obama administration, the American government sent some delegation to him
Hmm.
and they asked him. He said Nigeria should be split into 6 republics. During Donald Trump, some delegations came also. He insisted that the country should be split into 6 republics. Then again, during Joe Biden, they also came. So most of
Hmm.
this intelligence, we are very much aware of it.
I never
It's
knew
just
about
that we are
that.
not permitted.
I never knew about
We are
that.
not permitted.
Hmm.
We are not permitted to post certain things on social media. By my office, as the media bureau chief for Western Region, I have all access to some certain information that we don't, by ethics, we are not supposed to, make them on the public domain. So what I'm trying to tell you is that Wazirike has his foot on the ground. He's a major stakeholder in Nigerian project. At the same time, a non-violent self-determination.
At the same time,
Pro,
but brother,
yeah,
at the same time, Nigeria is a federation, so we have Igbo states, we have Calabar and Cross River states. We have these ethnic groups already built into as partially independent states within a federation. So, just to say, we have the southeast. You know, we have people from Newi, we have Inquiry, we have Mbaise on the call. We already have granted federation status, so we can represent ourselves as Biafrans and as dual nationality. You know, just like someone says they're Nigerian American, we can say we have Nigerian partial citizen, we have Biafra citizenship, and we could present ourselves to different governments and say, hey, we need our minerals, we need our security. Nigeria isn't operating well, but we have dual nationality under these current conditions until maybe things split up or the North joins, you know, Niger Republic and Burkina Faso and Chad and Sudan. Chad wants to join. You know, that's Kanuri and Bornu Empire that is right there, and they're famous. Everybody knows they're the ancient kingdom of the Nile in Nigeria. So everybody's there right now. What happens? We need to have a call with these USA groups that we've been trying for years, and now they're at the table. We have to have these conversations with USA people and see how they get passports, how they get everything set up here and in going into Nigeria. So and different countries, but
we
yeah,
have
yeah, we have to have these calls with
we
them.
have passports.
Yeah,
Listen, the
yeah, everybody.
Biafra
Yeah,
Foreign Affairs. Listen, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Biafra Internal Government we issue international passports to
okay,
our citizens.
okay.
The letters that
I have to check in right now. I'm going to probably end the call. I'm going to post this because people need to hear your voice because, like I said, the population of Biafra is so big. I don't know if you I don't know if you
so okay,
I don't know, but you know the flag of Biafra comes from the human rights of Marcus Garvey. We have a Marcus Garvey Street in Enugu, so it's all the same missions and programs that were started in the West, and people are starting to come to the table, say, okay, Biafra, Sahel, Biafra might be the leadership that we need in Africa, but right now I just have to cut the call. But even if I don't know if you can name the largest countries in Africa right now, but just because Biafra is small on the map a picture of a map, it doesn't mean that we don't have the numbers needed to call the United States of
all right,
Africa Forum. We have the northern states. We have Sahel, Niger. So we're running this as a United States of Africa Forum. We're going to have USA outlets. The Grenada Caribbean is already up there. So everything you see is changing. The military coup didn't work. So we just got to keep. We have to move these calls to the USA discussion. So
all right. You
I
can
got to
post
cut the
my yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna cut the
Okay,
call,
okay, okay.
but yeah, but I'm gonna cut the call. But just like I said, it's a sort of NBC because it's two groups of five. It's not we're central to what's going on in the Sahel and the
All right,
West.
brother.
All right, bro. Well, you know, because the USA visits you. You know, you're central to Africa. Obi Africa. So all right,
No
bye,
problem. Brother.
Udo.
Yeah.
We'll make the call for Toronto, Detroit next. Maybe you'll pick up. I don't know what the time will be. Maybe 3 p.m. Eastern time. But I'm going to keep calling until we get some communication with most of the headquarters. Four of the headquarters are in Nigeria. So if you don't pick up, somebody else might pick up, and or you know somebody Igbo in the Toronto might pick up. We'll try and get everybody in contact with you amongst other leaders. So, but we might not make the deadline for the Borgu Festival or the Ojuku Festival, which is I think in the same month of November. But in the
Yeah,
future,
greatest annual event.
but in the future, we won't have any excuse if this money starts coming in with the stock market. We won't have any excuse. But it's going to be a year long thing, and I think the coup attempt is they're watching what we're doing and they're panicking. They're doing a lot of stuff. They invaded Washington D.C. with to intimidate the black people there, but Washington D.C. they don't mention. Igbo World Assembly knows this, but Maryland, Virginia surrounds D.C. and Maryland, Virginia is what they call Igbo land because of slavery. So can you imagine that in Washington D.C. if they do DNA tests, if they're Igbo, the majority.
Really?
Yeah, Washington D.C. USA government headquarters is Igbo people, the black.
ATLA is Igbo.
Yeah.
Because the founding father of America, if you ask me, the Igbos are part of those that founded America, not
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
those history, the false history they are giving us.
Washington D.C. is a autonomous community or city within Maryland and Virginia. And if you Google it, Maryland, Virginia, Igbo, it'll tell you that. But if you Google Washington D.C. Igbo, AI won't tell you that they're connected. But Washington D.C. is within Maryland, Virginia, which they call Igbo land. So it's the same people. If you DNA test them, they're gonna say Igbo. So that they don't. This is the part of the conspiracy. They don't tell you. You have to You have to put things together. But DC is surrounded by Maryland, Virginia. They call it DMV. So Maryland, Virginia is Igbo. Why isn't Washington D.C. mentioned as Igbo? So that's what we're trying to work on. But we'll stay in contact. That's what I've been posting for years. That this is our place. So
What he just told me is something Professor, there's one professor that Chinedu Abodike made a similar statement over 10 years ago. But no problem. Let me allow you to check in. Maybe we
yeah,
speak
yeah,
some other time. Just let
yeah.
me know
East
so I can join your meetings.
yeah, and Anugu, for the record, Anugu Enchete Nduibo, the Record of Memory Center or something in Enugu. They put out
Yeah.
a, they said
Chetan
that
Igbo.
they,
Yeah.
yeah, they said the Igbo are the Bantu, 400 million people in Africa,
For a
culture.
million people. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Right.
we in
Yeah.
Nigeria we can't be part of the traditional leaders council. See the conspiracy. So
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It is from our colonial master, the British people. They are the one manipulating everything about the Igbo nation, but it's a question of time,
yeah,
Yeah, to,
this is our
so
year. Okay.
if you want me to promote, if you want me to promote most of the things that you have been doing, like you said, you've been sending
No,
money
no,
to.
we're bringing the
Uh,
people to you. You know, BIM-MASSOB, Newi, Henry Kingdom. You've been in this for years.
we have
We're
our
working together.
structures. We have our structures. BIM-MASSOB have the structures in northern Nigeria. We have our structures in the entire eastern region.
Mm.
In Benin, I have the regional leader in Benin. I have in Cross River. I have in Akwa Ibom. I have in Port Harcourt. We have our structures, our secretariat all across.
I need to get the calls today, or start getting them rolling again. Where we start putting a structure
That's a
over here,
problem with me.
where people could meet on ground, and that's going to shake the world. When there's structure here and they're starting traveling consistently, having money. Even myself, I don't have a passport. You know, I don't even have my birth certificate. You know, I don't have support necessarily from family. You know how family is sometimes. They'll see you doing something and let you do it by yourself. But even me, I don't have passport. So maybe I need your Biafra passport. So yeah,
There
but
is no problem. Yeah, through the through the foreign affairs, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you can issue you a passport. You have a
because
structure. The life of
my
freedom.
family is there in Mbaise, they could vouch for my identity, but I don't have U.S. birth certificate. I don't have Nigeria birth certificate. So it's just by my family's word that they say I'm from here.
But you are born.
I was
But you
born
are
in
born in
USA.
America, or you are
Yeah,
born.
USA.
Okay, okay, you are born in USA. Okay.
So
I just hope. I just hope that one day you will have opportunity to speak with Ralph Wazubike in some Imo State
yeah, yeah,
too,
yeah,
the Igbo leader. I
yeah.
just
Okay,
hope because I
I gotta
want.
go. I gotta go. We're
Yes,
gonna onye what is it? Onye Chiya Ekwe Naisu. Yeah,
Onye kwechi ekwe. Chizoro. All right, thank you.
that's my new name.
Ah, okay, your new name. Onye
Yeah,
kwechi ekwe.
yeah. Onye Chiya Ekwe
All right.
Nasu. Ekwe Nasu. Not Equentu. Ekwe Nasu. All right. All right.
Chizoro.
All right, bro. All right,
All
bro.
right.
We're gonna get the
Now,
USA.
yeah, may our
They're telling me.
ancestors,
Yeah, USA
may
is
our
on board.
ancestors guide you.
Udo. Yeah, okay.